Nigeria has banned gay marriage and same-sex amorous relationships and prescribed penalties of up to 14 years in prison for those breaking the law. The government there say people want President Goodluck Jonathan to sign this controversial anti-gay bill into law. But activists say it's another setback for gay and lesbian rights on the continent. Joining me now on Newsnight is the Director of Programs at the African Men for Sexual Health and Rights, Kene Esom. Good evening, and thanks so much for coming in.
Good evening.
The bill makes for really concerning reading. Let's start with some of the areas that are being banned, along with same-sex marriage.
So the bill bans the celebration of same-sex marriages or civil unions in Nigeria, which is already the position in Nigeria. But it also goes further to void any such marriage that's taking place anywhere else within Nigeria, and any benefits that could have accrued to such marriage or civil union within Nigeria.
It's actually quite interesting what it goes further to say, and what it goes further to ban is to ban gays from even starting organizations, even having meetings. Is this not tantamount to persecution?
It is, and it is a violation of the rights to freedom of association and a number of other rights that are enshrined in the Constitution of Nigeria. The thing about this bill is that it doesn't only target gays, as it were, because it goes on to prohibit any kind of association, support for organizations that are termed gay organizations. Now, the term gay organization isn't defined anywhere in that bill. So it's open to interpretation what kind of an organization.
So not only is there an attempt to persecute, but an attempt to isolate, as you say, gays from exercising their rights. What does the Constitution say about gay rights in Nigeria? Is it contrary to the law or
well,
not?
The Constitution is silent on the issue of non-discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation. But the rights that are enshrined in the Constitution apply to every citizen of Nigeria. And these rights, which will be affected by this law, will be violated against gay people and non-gay people in Nigeria.
And when you talk about non-gay people, you talk about jail terms that can be slapped on people who assist gays with starting organizations, holding meetings. So there is some kind of purge that seems to be sanctioned by this bill.
Yes, and it goes beyond that, because healthcare institutions that offer services, HIV services for instance, to gay persons would also be liable to conviction under this law, because it's so broad-reaching in its wording that potentially anyone could be found liable under this law.
Before we talk about what the picture is on the continent, what effect, if this bill is signed into law, what effect will it have in Nigeria practically?
Well, first, this law basically goes into the arsenal. I mean, it joins all the other laws in Nigeria that have been used by police, law enforcement agencies to target, to harass, to extort money from persons on the basis of their sexual orientation, whether perceived or real. And we've seen incidences of people who have been blackmailed under threats of being outed as gay people, whether they are gay people or not. So this is just another law that would have the same effect. But on the public health scene, the fight against HIV in Nigeria is one that has really been successful, because somehow organizations were allowed to offer services to marginalized populations, including men who have sex with men, sex workers, and other key populations. So with this bill, a number of these organizations that offer public health services to these populations will be at risk of breaking the law should they continue to offer such healthcare services.
Well, banning gay rights, as you well know, on the continent is not uncommon. It's outlawed in 38 African countries, and this is as at 2008. What are the underlying reasons for gay aversion, homophobia in Africa?
I think maybe to mention that what is outlawed in many countries is the crime of sodomy. But the discussion around gay rights and sexual orientation generally goes beyond the act of sodomy. And so what we see is an increasing attempt by states across the country, across the continent, to criminalize the sexual orientation, the identity of people as human beings. And this is irrespective of what sexual relations they have. And this is what this kind of bill does, because it doesn't add anything to the laws against sodomy, which are already in the penal codes in Nigeria.
I think that's an important distinction you made, because interestingly, there are no penalties for lesbians in Lesotho, Sierra Leone, and Zimbabwe. Why are gay women in these countries seemingly, considered to or relatively more tolerated?
Well, there are a number of reasons, and we could hazard guesses. But if we look at the origin of some of the sodomy laws on the continent and the anthropological studies around their adoption into Africa, we found out that there was a specific attempt to contain what was seen as African male sexuality in the colonial times. So you find that a number of these laws particularly targeted men and male masculinity, male sexuality in this way. So I think that's one of the reasons, especially in the Commonwealth, common law systems that adopted the laws from England.
Well, it's a fascinating, if not complex, analysis. Thank you so much. I wish we had more time to explore some of these issues, but we appreciate your insight. Kene Esom is from the African Men for Sexual Health and Rights Organization.
You deserve to know more.
eNCA.com